Hi Scholar, welcome to Post Scholar's channel. In as much as I know that I want to help you with some mathematical problem, my heart rejoices when I receive feedback from you, whether negative or positive. So I would love to see your comments after watching this video. This would help me meet your needs. So the title of this video is Finding Unknown Angle, right? Finding unknown angles. If you have been following me, you would have observed that I've already touched the foundation angles, right? The types of angles, the properties, and the relationships. We have done it in previous video. So there are two examples we are going to solve right away. This is the first example and this is the second example. Now the question says find the unknown. So let's check the first one. Now looking at this diagram, right, we have angle A, 70 degree, 50 degree, and 2A. Now we are asked to find the unknown. Which of this is the unknown? A is the unknown and 2A is also the what? Unknown. So before we start solving, let's write solution. Good. Now to attempt this question, what we need to understand is the properties of angles and some concepts. Now if you study this diagram very well, you see that this is a straight line, right? This is a straight line, and we have concluded that the sum of angle in a straight line is equal to what? 180. That means if you have a straight line, right, this total angle on the straight line is equals to what? 180 degree. That simply means that the whole angle from here to here is what? 180, right? So this gives us an edge in solving this question. So to find the value of this unknown, right, we can say 2a plus 50 plus 70 plus a equals 180. Why? Because the sum of and on this straight line must be equals to what? 180. So let's write it. We start by saying 2a plus 50 plus 70 plus a equals 180. And what's the reason for this? Sum of angles on a straight line. Next, we collect like terms, right? So to collect like terms, we combine the similar letters, right? So we say 2a plus a plus 50 plus 70 equals 180 degree, right? So 2a plus a gives 3a. Write down 3a plus 50 plus 70 gives 120. 120 equals 180 degree, right? Now what do we do next? We subtract 120 from both sides, right, so as to be left with 3a. So when we do that, we have 3a is equal to 180 minus 120, right? This 120 has left the left hand side, is now in the right hand side, so we are left with 3a equals 180 minus 120 gives 60, right? We need to find the value of the unknown, which is a. To find a, we divide both sides by 3. So we have 3 over 3. Now 3 cancels 3. Now we are left with only a, right? So write our a, therefore, is now equal to 60 divided by 3. And 60 divided by 3 gives 20. Now we have found the first unknown. So this one, a, is equal to what? 20 degree, right? But we are also asked to find the value of 2a, right? So if a is equal to 20 degree, therefore 2a will be equals to 2 times, we already know the value of a. A is what? 20. That's 2 times 20. 2a equals what? 40 degree. So we can present our answer by saying a equals 20 degree and 2a equals 40 degree. Now we have solved question 1, that is letter A. Now let's solve letter B. Now to solve letter B, we need to understand what's going on in this diagram. Now if you check this diagram very well, you will see that it's looking like a full circle, and if you remember very well, you know that the sum of angle at a point gives what? 360. It simply means that when you add each of these angles together, they should all sum up to what? 360, because they are actually on a point, right? They're actually on a point. Yes, they're actually on a point. So the whole of this angle is 360. So let's solve question B. To solve question B, we simply says, now one thing you need to know again is we are given this angle as 3x, this angle as 100, this angle as 60, this angle as letter x, but this was not given. So you need to intuitively know that this angle here is 90 degrees. If you have been following my video, you will have understand that whenever you see a small square in the angle, right, if you see a small square in any angle, just know that angle is 90 degrees or a right angle. So this is a right angle, right? This part is a right angle. That's why it's represented with a small square. So what we need to do is we need to add 3x 90 degree, x, 60 and 100, and equate everything to 360 because the sum must be equals to what? 360. All right, so let's solve that. So we have that 3x plus 100 plus 60 plus x then plus 90 equals 360 as we have here, right? So we continue by collecting like terms. This and this are together, so we add them. 3x plus x, then plus 100, right? Then plus 60, then plus 90, right? Equals 360. Now we add 3x plus x, which gives 4x, then plus 100 plus 60 gives 160. Then 160 plus 90 gives 250. So write it, 250 equals 360. Now, what's the mission? We are asked to find the unknown, and here the unknown is what? Letter x. So to find the value of x, we need to subtract 250 from both sides, right? When you do that, you are left with 4x in the left hand side and 360 minus 250, right? Because we subtracted 250 from both sides, it gets eliminated from the left hand side and it's reflected in the right hand side. So we have 4x is equal to 360 minus 250 gives 110. So you write 110 degree, right? Now for us to find the value of x, we need to divide both sides by 4. When you do that, over 4 over 4. Now 4 cancels 4 and you are left with x, right, equals 110 divided by 4 gives, if you punch it in your calculator, you have 27.5 degree. Now we have gotten the unknown, the first unknown, which is x. X is 27.5 degree, right? But then we also asked to find 3x. These are the two unknowns, x and 3x. So to find 3x, since we know x, it's easier for us to find 3x. So 3x is equal to 3 times, what's the value of x? 27.5. So 27.5. And when you multiply that, you have 82.5. So you present your answer by saying x equal 27.5 and 3x. Please put your degree, very important. X equals 27.5 and 3x equal 82.5. So that's how to go about solving this question. I hope it is well understood. See you in my next video. God bless you. Bye.